was doing some research into gyros again. Seems to be the topic of the year here. And so I subscribed to Google Gemini's Ultra, and I used its agentic research capability this morning. And I prompted it. I said, hey, can you find me cases where gyros were tested with and without Schuler tuning implementation and a corresponding transport rate that's supposedly physically torquing the gyros to compensate for the curvature of the Earth. And then I went on to say something like, seeing this difference would allow us to measure the curvature of the Earth in both instances, with and without. And this thing just kind of went on this wild goose chase and kept pulling back claim after claim after claim without showing me data, without showing me actual evidence. And I further prompted it. I'm like, you're giving me claims. I want to evaluate the data. I want to see the measured angular rates. I want to see the measured errors. I want to see where this is measured. Like, why can't somebody show me a freaking video of the flywheel of a gyro remaining fixed as the housing turns when the object is rotating around the curvature of the Earth? So what I get, I can tell you what I do get. At best, I get a comparison of map coordinates. Well, you see, without Schuler tuning, we ended up over here using the globe coordinates, and we turn it on, we actually end up here using the globe coordinates. And because Earth is a globe, then then we can back calculate the rotation by this amount. And another instance, oh, there's so much noise, okay? We've got all these gyroscope errors. So like, to borrow what Alpha said the other day, like looking at alphabet soup, we pick out the words from the alphabet soup because that's how much Earth curvature rotation was expected according to WGS 84. That's what I get. I don't get actual physical measurements. I don't get controls for all these variables, for all the excess noise. There's none of that. And the R value that is used in Schuler tuning systems is derived from a reference ellipsoid. The old ones were from the Bessel. Before Apollo, when they were first experimenting with INS systems. The R value they got was from the Bessel ellipsoid. Isn't that crazy? New ones use WGS 84 and then add all the undulations from the geoid into the software. So it goes back to what I've been saying, guys, is the INS has one job to do, and that is to put your airplane, your boat, whatever, to put that somewhere on a spherical coordinate reference system at all costs. And however they have to get to that, they'll get to that.
So you're saying that it references the Bessel model?
Yeah, the first inertial navigation systems using gyros. The story goes is that V2 rockets had a problem because of the curvature of the Earth and reaching their target accurately. And as soon as they started pre-programming the curvature of the Earth into their ballistic trajectories, they were able to reach their targets more accurately. That's the lore. That is the lore. I'm still trying to find the actual test data of this. Can't find it anywhere. And somewhere along the line, post-World War II, before the Apollo missions, I forgot the guy's name. It's a famous engineer, invented a gyro-based inertial navigation system. And it was so full of errors that in order for him to calibrate it while it's being used, he actually incorporated a star tracker. So they basically took early computers and packed them into an airplane to control the gyro. And then they used a star tracker to track where the sun was in order to provide a known reference point. And they also packed in accelerometers, which are basically pendulous vanes, so that they'd have a down vector. But the thing was notoriously noisy. And over time, they started to get this thing programmed such that it could put the airplane onto a coordinate reference system using all the sensors. Eventually, these things got smaller. And the Apollo program, I think, was the first to use optical gyros for the moon mission. And then after that, all hell broke loose, and the whole aerospace and defense field went into a frenzy. But going back a bit, one of the first projects by NASA was Project Spire, SPIRE, where they were testing these inertial navigation gyros, these systems. And it was like a top secret project back in the day. And this is the origin of the opacity in avionics. Because hey, if bad guys could get their hands on really good gyros, they might be able to produce accurate ballistics tables to improve their accuracy of long-range intercontinental ballistic missile launches, or even shorter medium range. What the hell? Throw it all in there. Or any kind of long-range or at-range weapons system they can improve the accuracy of. But fast forward to today, and I'm pulling up reports, pulling up papers from like the U.S. Naval Postgraduate School, where they're like, yeah, so we're actually using local tangent planes now to improve accuracy. we use global coordinates to kind of get A to B in a general location, but when we need precision, we actually need to switch to local tangent plane coordinates using DGPS. Totally serious. It's kind of funny how we've come full circle so many ways.
I remember this was a long time ago. I don't know if it was a documentary or where I saw this. It could have been television. They were giving an award to some guy for inventing the mathematics on which a inertial guidance system relies. And they're basically crediting them with a guidance system for intercontinental ballistic missiles, to make a long story short. And he had invented the formulas in order to make that possible, and that they were super classified. So he was an old guy, obviously. And they were giving him some plaque or something, and what he did for, it could have been like the Presidential Medal of Honor or something like that. Because I guess it was like a hard problem to solve back in the day or something. I mean, with side rolls, freaking every problem's hard to solve. But Yoder, I don't know if you guys heard me talking about, I don't know if you guys are listening last night to me and Dre's talking about sunsets.
Briefly, yeah, I couldn't tune in.
3,959 mile mirror ball, right? So
Yeah.
the difference in the sunset, the difference in the size of the sun when the sun is touching the horizon would be about, I think it said 12%, but that was at 6 feet. If you're at 69 meters, which is about 220 feet, when you saw the sun touch the horizon, you wouldn't be able to see its reflection. There'd be no reflecting surface. So it's basically you'd have an optical path to the sun, but the point that would have to be the angle that would reflect to your eye, that place, which is 30 miles away or whatever, that does not have an optical path to the sun.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's on the backside of the curve from the sun.
Yes, exactly. So this is actually a test that could, if I spoke Spanish, we do got someone that speaks Spanish. Hola, Avi. Because they give tours, and part of some of the people that do the tours down there, they do like drone shit. We just get down, we just like hey, bro, find a 37-mile stretch. We need a water horizon. We need you to pick the drone up 69 meters at sunset and just film like the last 5 minutes of sunset till the sun is
That's brilliant.
completely gone.
That's brilliant. That's the kind of proposal that Dr. Shiva needed to hear a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not this INS, complicated mousetrap. Or ILS rather. The ILS, great idea. Okay, yeah, you got narrow beam radars. You got narrow radar beams over like 80 miles. Cool, but something tangible and something explainable and understandable by the common man is what's needed here.
I think it's understandable, but I don't think it's like doable. I mean, you
The
can
drone
do
thing?
it, yeah, but I just think that it's too convoluted for like what the purpose. I guess my envision of what the purpose would be is something simple. You know what I nothing like we need to go get an airplane, we need to get a freaking electronic distance measurement system, and you know what I mean? It's like fucking, it's too
Yeah.
technology laden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the ILS is, yeah. But the drone thing I think is great. Particularly if you can
You
see
don't even
the
technically need a
distant
drone
marker.
because there's mountains outside of the salt flats themselves. So
Oh,
you could just go to the far eastern side of the salt flats, climb some of the hills over there, and just look west and wait. It's 86 miles across that way. It's an 86-mile
wow.
stretch. So from 800 feet, the horizon's 37 miles away on the globe. So if
Wow.
that's an 87-mile stretch, you ain't gonna say, well, it's mountains in the way or any other thing.
Bonus if you could have an observer on the ground 37 miles away from the mountains with like a infrared camera and zoom in on the base of the mountain at the same
They'd be
time.
like, so I came with a different answer than ChatGPT or not or Gemini. I used the Gemini 3.0. It seems like I've only did it for this, so I don't know if you got a chance to fiddle with it.
A bit.
People on the internet are hyping it. Well, people on YouTube are hyping it, but they're the channels that hype any freaking thing that comes around because they're trying to
Yeah.
get
I'm
clicks.
not convinced it's that great right now.
So, so Indio, if 24/7 is going to be branded, wouldn't it be good to start like putting together like an interview crew, like to actually start doing what I was saying, like envisioning, getting a few people that are elected to go interview some folks and to have this discussion kind of more openly, like with I don't know, top officials of whoever that we choose, and
um,
then yeah, you got that, and then you got like the observation crew that goes out and does tests. Like, you know what I mean? I think if we start doing those kinds of things, it's a signal that the 24/7 is not just a brand, but it's a movement. You know, it's a like people are gonna want to join in and take part of it. You know, so I don't know, man. I think that it can be a lot bigger than what we imagine it being, but we do have to come together and like start formalizing in some way.
yeah, yeah.
Because I think we're
I
better. We're
agree.
better than we're better than what we've like, dude. I'm telling you, like Glowbusters and all that. Like we're way past those guys.
Oh, they were left in the dust a long time ago. I mean, we're
I don't know.
horrible self-promoters. That's our problem.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude.
We need a fucking
It's
marketing team.
yeah. Yeah, because if you're opening up the server that way, that's just a signal of like, okay, now it's go time. You know, we're gonna have to start getting out on social media. Like it's a different take. You know,
Well, here it is.
we're doing it our way. You know, not like
As far as
yeah.
as far as like the discoverable server thing, so I looked yesterday and type in flat Earth, you get 3 servers. One is feminist flat Earth server. You don't have to take that seriously. Then there's the something flat Earth Discord, maybe. and there's like 3,000 people, but there's one called the official Flat Earth server. That's got like 13,000 people, which is like 2,000 more people than when we talked about it. Like those motherfuckers are not overtaking us, dude. Hell no. Because people are getting those I'm banned from that one of those servers because they're bullshit servers. They're Glober servers. The Flat Earth. Come chill
Yeah,
with like-minded conspiracy nuts without fear of being silenced.
yeah. We need better marketing though to actually start putting the voice out, the word out. You know,
Feminist
I
Flat
think that's
Earth
all we
Center.
need.
Feminist Discord, no ban, mute community. Debate channels. They got 3,000 members. Now, the official Flat Earth Discord. Join the Flat Earth Discord, discuss, debate, explore the mysteries of our world, shape all viewpoints. Welcome. And of course, what's their icon, right? Disc in space with the fucking moon above it, right? All of them space this shit, except for the Flat Earth one. But that gives it away in the goddamn title. That I can't let that shit stand. I'm sorry. So Friday, I'll make our server discoverable just to make sure there's no objections. I don't think there's going to be, but I like being cautious about shit like that because I can't predict the consequences. I mean, the consequence could be nothing. I'm just saying all the traffic that they get in all those other discords, because you know what people do. They click on, oh, here's a bunch of discords on the same topic. I'm going to click on the biggest one, right?
Yep.
And it's partial test. I want to know if we're being throttled. So now our level of people that like join every day is probably around 25 to 50. So now if that doubles, triples, goes up by a factor of 10, even if they're trolls, I'll be able to tell if people are joining and leaving at the same time in the same number. Because that's pretty much what happens is whatever amount of people join, same amount of people leave. And then when I look at what accounts leave, I can't actually look at those accounts and see like when they joined the server, how long they've been on. But it's just really weird that, you know, some days it's like 150 people. Like 150 people join, 150 people to leave. That makes no fucking sense. Day after day after day. That like
Yeah.
how are like the number like it's really like a bit like fluctuated. Like one day it's like 25 join and then 100 leave and then 100 join and 25 leave. But it's almost exactly an even number. I've been tracking this for quite a while now, a couple of years. We ain't that lucky. We ain't flipping heads every day for fucking goddamn 2 years.
Yeah, no, like these servers that we join, they should be only like good for a little bit of foot traffic, but the home server should be the main event. Like we should actually be focusing on growing that and then being there instead of like having to be in these away servers that we've been on.
Yeah,
It's
these away
good.
servers must be to get people on the main server, but we're like chilling here, which is cool to a degree.
Yeah.
But we need to be like fucking Starship Troopers. Do you want to know more? And fucking drag them to the home server.
A good bug is a dead bug.
You
Yeah,
can also be more provocative, right? Like, are there aliens on a flat Earth? Fucking do bullshit
yeah,
they're interested in, right?
yeah. Dude. I'm saying like it's gonna be awesome once we reignite the fires in there, you know.
Ghosts can't exist on a globe.
So I don't know. I mean, we're gonna probably have to go through all the mod list and the gold list and the silver list and the see like who's who and who's doing what. You know, once everything gets back up again.
Yeah. How the fuck? If you're a ghost, dude, how do you not just go up into space? You don't have gravity making you follow the curve of the Earth. You're a fucking ghost. How do ghosts work on a globe?
Yep. And the merch possibility, because I made a t-shirt with a 24/7 Flat Earth Discord on the back, and it had hoax in the front. But doing live streams with like merch, you know, to like symbolize the brand, kind of put the brand out there. I wouldn't mind doing streams for 24/7
Now, how
like
are we
that.
going to distribute the funds, though? That's fucking, what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean,
I actually, this is very weird.
bro.
You're talking about this because I was thinking about this morning, like about this exactly what you're talking about, and like,
Yeah.
I'm like fucking money, dude. Money just changes motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not
I
even talking
know.
about like getting money. Just like as soon as money is involved, people become fucking suspicious and like you're fucking stealing the money, you're taking the money, you're after the money. Like,
Yeah.
just
Well,
fucking hate that shit, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, man. It could still be a movement, and any organization, anything, doesn't matter what it is. It takes money. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
No, you
I
can't
know.
go from zero to like hero and not have any money involved. Like, just everything free. It's not the way the world works, bro. It doesn't work that way. And it's an ideal, it's a dream. If somebody thinks, oh, we can just, it doesn't have to be about money. Like, dude, how are you going to get like a production crew? How are you going if you're serious about doing this, it's going to cost money. Like, that's
I
a,
think we've proved our integrity at this point after freaking
yeah,
this long.
like, there doesn't need to be like, oh, is Indio going to be just grifting? Like, dude, that's bullshit, dude. Like, just people want to do that to keep you down, bro. That's the kind of shit people say. And then
Only
meanwhile,
I'm gonna steal the money. You'll never see me again when I steal the money.
no,
It's a big
meanwhile,
fucking
dude,
pile.
all these other companies are like growing really quickly because they know how to like adapt to a business model. And meanwhile, we're not be able to move because we're not about the money, you know. So it's like it's stupid, dude. I think at some point
He's
people have to
flat.
grow up, dude.
He's flat.
Sorry, I get upset about that because like all that talk about well, we're not doing money. Well, dude, if you want to have really nice like videos and things to put out, it's gonna cost some money, dude, somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it takes
Earth
time,
is
bro. Like
flat.
you can't. Huh? Say that again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Earth is flat.
Okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. Yeah, we know. How do
Are
you
you
know?
whispering or ASMR or what's one of them?
After he's freaking jacking off his mic.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, the thing is, yeah, if you want good production quality, man, that's the thing. Like time is money. There's no doubt about
yeah.
that.
But everybody's gonna be sitting back and like, yeah, I don't know how you're gonna get the money, but maybe you can do a GoFundMe or something. And it's like, I don't know, man.
Look at what we're against, dude. Like fucking, I don't know.
That's
You gotta
why I
think
feel
like
some
that.
kind of
Some
way
of the
about that,
videos,
man.
if you type flat Earth on YouTube or whatever, you get so you get like Jake Paul. They got like fucking. They probably had like $100,000 production budget for their
Yeah,
fucking goddamn videos.
we could be good like that good if people weren't just like so worried about that. You know, they're like, oh, well, we got away from the globalist economy, so we don't want to be like those guys.
No, well, that's not my
Like,
attitude. I just don't. I know internet communities, and they tend to rot from the inside. You know what I mean? They cannibalize themselves, and when you involve money, that's just like gasoline on the flame.
well,
That's
I
just
think
been my
about it like this,
attitude
man.
because I don't. It's more personal. It has nothing to do with the money itself. It has to do with like human nature. You know, it's not like it's not about the money. Me being against money. Me being it's nothing like that. It's just that. I mean, at this point, I'm not worried about it. I know all you guys. I know you guys. Like, I mean, I don't know you guys. There's like $10 million in the fucking account somewhere. I know I could trust you. I know I could trust you. You know, there's certain people I'd have no problem with trusting. Give them the keys to that shit. Uh, I'm just saying is that just money. I've seen a lot of I've been on the internet a long time and watched a lot of communities just fucking implode on bullshit that had nothing even to do with money. And I can only imagine adding money to it.
Yeah, there needs to be a way that it gets kind of regulated by a council or something. You know what I mean? So it's not just like
Yeah.
one guy's just hoarding it all somewhere and like he's got the say so for it all. You know, it needs to be kind of like, I mean, for lack of better words, democratized. You know, like you gotta.
I was part of a 9/11 community, and it was like an internet forum. I can't remember what the fucking name was now. I'm fucking senile as fuck, bro.
India, what's the crypto word for it? Like when you have a bunch of people together and you want to like vote on something. Right?
Consensus?
Yeah, it's consensus, right? But it's like there's a specific token like you're a part of, and then you that token being a part of that, like or owning that token gives you a say
Like a,
so, like a portion.
like a voting right? Like a voting right or something?
Yeah, like a voting right. Yeah,
They got tokens
that's
that
a
do that shit?
yeah. There is. It's like having skin in the game. You know, people aren't just talking shit; they're actually invested in this. Like it's an investment, like a stock. You know, you buy the stock
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah. That's actually probably a pretty good idea. I mean, you could probably, if it's not already been done, which it probably has.
yeah. There's a crypto version of that though.
All payments go into this fucking pool that's in this crypto.
Yeah,
And just you have a bunch of beneficiaries pay dividends, whatever. Well, obviously some subset of that's going to be dedicated to actual productive
yeah.
enterprise instead of paying people out.
That's why I'm telling you, dude. Crypto has the way to do this. Like, it would be the best way to forward. Like, you could get like some sort of cryptocurrency and have that be the way that people contribute to this, and then it gives them
Anyway,
the voting right and a say
let me
so. And you know what?
let me tell you about this 9/11 forum. Like, it was never talked about money, nothing like that. Okay, so it was an internet forum. It was on a fucking, I think, I can't remember the name. I can't remember any. This is way back in like 2003, 2004. Anyway, it's a very popular 9/11 forum as far as like traffic. Even when all the other 9/11 shit, picked up and died, this shit was still fucking going. Something happened where the database got corrupted. And so that's how like it was partially corrupted or something happened and dude look for someone to fix it. So I'm like, I'll fix it. And like I got fucking put in this like email chain and these motherfuckers were making bank off this forum and they were all and I got like saw all these emails of like they're all bullshit over it's down because they're making like mad fucking revenue off this website. And I had no idea that this was driving the shit. And it wasn't that they were shills or they were working for the government. It was just like their their priority switched, right? They went from fucking I got a 9 to 5 to fucking I'm making, 10,000 a month off a fucking website, fucking throwing ads at people. This website got a lot of traffic, and then like it just like kind of like opened my eyes to shit on the internet. Like, kind of never know what's going on behind the scenes. Now this is a little different, I guess. I'm just saying that was just a like fucking eye opening experience.
Yeah, but if you involve a consensus mechanism, then that it
Yeah,
hits like
yeah.
it's its own. It self regulates. You know, you don't need to have like bodies of people trying to investigate or like a
I didn't
type of
expose
quality
them, which
control.
I
You know.
could have. I didn't expose them because I just like walked away. I was just like, I got some pretty goddamn good posts in that shit too, but I just walked away from it. The place that eventually died on it was I think it was called 911truth.org or something maybe. I don't think that was the name of it. Look at my old email. It was called No Planes or something.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, Web3 is the best place for this idea to actually blossom. That somebody has a better idea.
I think we need to consider hitting up other platforms, streaming to Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
%. I'd back that play all day long. Majority or the bulk of the normies are on TikTok. And I think YouTube has a lot of them, but I think X is a good way to like draw them in. TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not. My objection is not principle. It's just more practical. But you said you got a way to fucking, or you're aware of, you can use in crypto to stop the fucking grift. That's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, there's a
I mean, I thought about it many times. Like, dude, we could do some. So one test I want to do. I want to do a high altitude fucking balloon with basically a 3D camera, right? But fucking
Yeah.
with the cameras far apart, right? So you remember that Chinese freaking spy balloon a few years ago that they supposedly shot down with an F-35?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I had a giant gondola on it. So what you do is you take a camera on each end of the gondola and make a stereoscopic freaking image of the Earth. So the Earth would end up looking. So basically, what you're doing the same way a VR headset works, right? You make a giant what they call an interocular distance. It's a distance between each eye. So if you take this giant if you do a high altitude balloon and you separate them, the cameras, right, the left eye and the right eye far, it would be like having a large head, right? Basically, as if you were a giant looking at the Earth. If you put on 3D glasses or did it in a VR, like there's all sorts of ways to transform this. So this is one test that you'd be able to tell instantly if the surface of the Earth was curved if you could increase your eye separation, right? You know how they always say you're an ant on the beach ball. Okay, we're gonna make what it looks like to be not an ant, right? we're gonna increase the stereoscopic fucking range so that like you have better ability to perceive depth, because our depth perception is based upon how far our eyes are apart. The farther eyes are apart, you get better depth perception. So this is like just a trick you could do. It's not even a trick. It's a test, dude. Like they say, hey, you can see curvature there from high altitude. Okay, we're gonna take 120. We're gonna take a balloon. It's gonna go up to fucking 60,000 feet, and we're gonna create a fucking stereoscopic fucking image of the Earth. And you'll see, I'll take 3D glasses, and you could actually sell this, dude. You could sell 3D prints. You could sell the 3D environment. You could just run it in one of these ready-made freaking programs like in Unity or one of the other ones. Even Unreal, I think, they have these micro games, right? The games are only
Yeah,
like a few megabytes.
Unreal Engine.
Yeah, but they're self-contained, right? Like you don't have to download a giant freaking program because it would only be just the viewport. All you're just doing is the 3D render viewport stereoscopically. Like I said, you could use 3D glasses. You could use a VR headset. You'd even be able to make if you had a whole bunch of data points, you could actually make the entire 3D environment. Now that's a whole nother way. You can add cameras, right? So we can add cameras and actually make by combining, if you know the angles and all the directions the cameras are pointing, you can reconstruct the 3D image by just making an array of cameras. So there's a whole bunch of shit you can do. Like, and it's like it's silly. There's technologically driven shit. There's non-technologically driven shit that you can do. It's like, but yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, AB. It's like, where's the funding for this?
Exactly that. The type of mechanism, I think it's called delegated proof of stake. I was looking it up. I'm not sure if that's the exact mechanism that I was talking about, but it's similar to that.
We'll figure it out.
But I'm saying though, because people are mainly concerned about the whole idea that it becomes a grift. That if you need money for things like production value, you're gonna have to get it from a pool somewhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
just
like
this
this
just
balloon
this how
project
things is, man.
it wouldn't even cost, like, my understanding is when Mr. Drive and Survive did the balloon thing, it cost them $900 to do a single balloon. The helium, the cost of the balloon, everything together was $900. Now, mind you, this is 5 years ago, so it probably, I guess, with inflation, maybe like $1,300, $1,400. But we're gonna need
Yeah.
like a couple balloons. We're gonna need something to stabilize it with. It's gonna have to be thought out. So I would say the price would probably be like 10 G's, and this is probably an overestimate. 10 G's in cost, the material cost, and then the labor. It's probably fucking 150 hours of labor between the design and the construction and, you know, all that stuff, troubleshooting, setting it up, all that stuff. Now it might be over $10,000. So I'm gonna want to use good fucking cameras. I could just use 45 millimeters. Those are fucking good cameras. I'm making a 45 millimeter. They make any autofocus film cameras? Well, I mean, like I said, like, dude, like, this is just one idea. That's just one idea. I mean, anybody else? I said this shit 5 years ago, you know. I was talking about this in the live stream with Riggs and other people years ago. That, look, there's a lot of people, because this is back when, like, Ranty and all these people, hey, give me freaking money. I'm going to go buy, you know, a computer to stream on the internet. And people are giving them money, and that's fine. They can do what they want. But I was like, dude, we should just, like, do GoFundMe's for specific projects. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is the task we want to do. I'm not saying
Well,
necessarily use GoFundMe, but that's the idea, right?
yeah. Well, I
Funds
was
for
gonna say,
specific projects.
Andy, I was gonna say that with crypto, it's you don't need to worry about banks and limits and all that. Crypto is whatever you like have in there. So crypto can move at the, like essentially you have like a Swiss bank in your pocket. You can have any amount of crypto in your pocket right now, and that can be transferred. So it doesn't need to. You don't need to, call Bank of America and tell them to up your limit, or wait for banks to kind of give you the okay. You can just donate. Like there's no, you get me? There's no red tape.
Is
So
there any
it's
way we can like make a list of like say 5 tests, and then when people donate, right? Say like whatever you donate,
yeah.
like say 70% is going to go to the test of your choice, and you can just check a box
Yeah.
like this is where I want my money, or 30% to this one, 20% to this one, 10% to that one. You know what I'm saying?
You can build a contract that actually has all the stipulations that you'd like to see within the currency. So when
Well, just
things
give the
get
people a
done, like
choice, dude, because like people might have confidence in one experiment, and some of these tests might be like Hail Marys, basically, as in the odds of it going bad are high, whereas others are more solid as in for the execution of it. Because you know you could do the hot air balloon test and you fly it up and the fucking gondola breaks or the balloon pops, or you know what I mean? Like, so something can go wrong and they'll have invested a bunch of money in a test that fails. Like, I'd like people to be able to, like, you assess the risk of each task, right? And then give it, like, a score. And then let people be able to choose where their money goes. Maybe they're high-risk people. Maybe they're low-risk people. You know, I would like to be able, that would be badass, dude, I think.
That's why you want to include those probabilities in your tests. Like you said, the balloon pops. You want to protect your materials, your cameras, and those things, and have multiple balloons because you want to expect that the first and second balloon will just pop middle way.
Yeah, we need
there's a
somebody. We need.
possibility I want to use hydrogen instead of helium, then the cost of that and the danger associated with that. But you get like something like 12% more lift with hydrogen than helium.
Yeah, you'd have to
And
ensure
it's
that there's a
cheaper.
committee. You'd have to ensure there's a committee with an oversight for all this. These type of arrangements, man. Like
Oh,
obviously.
like a committee with like 10 flat earthers and 10 MIT scientists that are all going to collaborate together like that.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that would be the way.
That's what
That would
Shiva
be.
said he was going to do. That I'm being sarcastic too, being facetious, because
Well,
Shiva said that's what he was doing. That he was going to get 10 flat earthers and 10 MIT Harvard physicists and engineers, and they're all going to agree on one test. And then they were going to pair up, and the flat earther and the physicist were going to do their own version of that test. And that's what everybody was going to do. And then they were all going to take all the data they all collected from that one test and then figure it out, right? But now instead we got Shiva, McToon, some other guy. Fuck, dude.
Of the verb. So
Yep.
should we
so yeah, man. That's what I've been thinking about, like moving forward. Because yeah, it's time, dude. It is time.
Well, dude, New Year's coming up, 2026. Dude, we laid the groundwork. All the foundations were laid. All the brick is there. It's fucking earthquake proof. It's hurricane proof. Well, it's time to build the skyscraper.
I'm thinking we need to get our heads together about like talking about making a contract. Get that contract solid so that you have everything in it what you want, what you want to see, like especially if you're going to plan for things like what you just mentioned, like high risk projects and that sort of thing. And then people will be able to like know what they're putting into. There'd be like a roadmap, white paper, everything.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like an actual. I mean, that gets people to donate when you got your shit together. When you actually have a place to go. Some people want to get in the car with you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly that.
Like, I'm gonna just Willie, like Ranty and Jaron and all these guys, right? They like. I shouldn't single out Ranty. I was just thinking of him because he was always grifting for money, saying he was doing this, that, and the other thing, and never did it. Right? They had no direction with their tests. There was no like end goal on what they were doing. Same with FB Core, to be honest, is that they put in a lot of work. I'm not going to take that away from them, but there was really no direction on where they were trying to get to. Like, yeah, you do all these tests and what? I shouldn't say that. I actually take it back. Their goal was to get something published in the field. They were trying to get something published within the field of geomatic information services, like surveying and geodesy and all that crap. They're trying to get something published in that field. That was their end goal. Because they started saying at the end that we're not talking to any more frickin' Gobers. We're not debating this anymore. We're just going to we're only going to deal with people that are in the field, that are like in the so-called scientific field of geodesy and geographic information services. We're not going to deal with, because you remember what they said, we're testing the WGS 84 reference ellipsoid. And they did all that shit right. Then you have some fucking bonehead coming in here. They didn't use the right model of refraction. Shut up, bro. You're fucking punching way out of your weight class, dude. You're fucking flyweight trying to punch the super heavyweights.
We already talked about that a long time ago. It's time to like, yeah.
Like you're punching into the dude's belt buckle. Like what the fuck? I gotta step away for a second. I'll be back.
Indio. I'm sorry.
Oh, if it's quick, I can deal with it.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, what about tests with a long tube, with a matte material or absorbing light material, like that paint that absorbs light, black paint, and a long straight tube? We make sure that it is a straight tube, and you make an observation, a long distance observation. There will be no way they will claim refraction, that the image was refracted up and it's straightened inside the tube. Because if it is light bending, it will bend inside the tube and it won't reach the lens of the camera at
I
the
agree.
end of the tube.
Yeah, I agree. And
That would
I
be,
actually I might be able to do this test myself. I know where to do it. So
that would be cheaper, in my opinion. Just a long tube, you paint it with that light absorbing paint, that black
yeah,
paint. So you
you can
make
just
sure
buy
that
black.
the
You
line-
can buy black PVC. So like take like a black plastic tube. You can just buy black, like plumbing tube instead of
yeah,
white. You just buy black. But you would want to be matte. It might be shiny a little bit inside. But if you're zoomed
no,
all the way, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
it doesn't need to be shiny, because you just want to
No,
take
you don't
away
want it to be shiny. I'm just saying it might be
exactly.
too shiny on the inside.
Exactly, because you want to take away that ability of bouncing light from that from the inside surface of that tube.
You
So
could use carbon black, right? You could just fucking
Yeah.
pour charcoal through it, right? And fucking just
Yeah.
coat the inside. Then they can't
Yeah.
say nothing about frickin' reflecting light.
At all. And the refraction will be dismissed also, because you want to be able to say that the light is bending inside the tube. So is it spiraling inside the tube, like making a spiral to hit the camera at the end of the tube? Let's say that the tube is what, 10 meters would be enough?
The tube, you got to get it so that the end, when you're all the way zoomed out, that it takes up the whole the hole that you're gonna see all the way at the end. You got to be able to zoom in so that's even with the camera frame,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I actually have a place to do this. It's gonna sound crazy, but there's a place on Revere Beach. It like so you come out of the train station and you have to go upstairs. It like goes over. They built this so it goes over the railroad tracks. So you go up, and at the top there's a bar, but it's an outdoor bar. And during the winter, obviously they don't use the outdoor bar, but you can set that up on their outdoor bar. It's like fucking. It's probably like. Let me think for a second. It's at least 15 feet long. So it's probably like 3-4 meters long. That you can just set it up, and obviously it's level, right? You can just set this up on the bar, and you got a view of the ocean, from about 100 feet above sea level.
Yeah, that
That
would
would
be
be fucking
nice.
perfect. Plus, you could
Yeah.
go down. You can go down to 15 feet above sea level, and they got pavilions where you could rest this like 10 feet, like it'd be like 15 feet above sea level, and then you could go right down to this because it's the ocean, right? You're gonna have waves and shit. So if you're right at the sea level, the waves are gonna screw everything up.
Yeah, if there
You know?
is some waves, they will just create obstruction.
Yeah, and then you won't be able to so you're gonna have to be a little bit above sea level. The reason I like this place is because you can do it at 2 elevations pretty much at the same time that are in a line to each other. You know what I mean? I'll actually show you this route on Google Maps.
Yeah, I actually found what I was thinking about. It's called a Dow indio.
What? A Dow? What is
Yeah,
that?
decentralized autonomous organization. When you get time, when you're done talking to NECROS, that's actually what I was talking about earlier. Delegated proof of stake is another method, but a DAO is what I really meant. It works like in market token. Is using this.
I already have a video with one test like that, but
I've
unfortunately,
seen the John D one. The one in Brighton. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't remember if it was by John D. I'll verify that. Let me see. It was a tube, but metallic tube, but unfortunately there was no coating inside, so you can claim the reflection, you can claim anything. So
that so the first image I drew an arrow. So that thing, that brown thing, that's a bar. That's a wooden bar, like a wooden surface, a wooden table, basically a giant wooden table. I don't know how long it is.
yeah,
but
I
it's
see
fucking
it.
long. It's long. It's obviously it's long. It's as long as that little building there. So I could set up the tube right on top of that, and in the second image is my view, like what it would be out to sea. Now, what I can do, so this is probably like 100 feet above sea level at this location. You go downstairs, and then you're at the level of the beach. I can set up in one of these pavilions, or even in this circle, and also see this circle's like a little. It's nothing. It's just like they made like a little circle thing. You could set up there. That would probably be like 20 feet above sea level, and then like it would be on the same line of sight. So if something's out there, ship, whatever, then you can compare both of them. I actually have an infrared P1000. I haven't had a chance to test yet. So I definitely want to do this.
And
Exactly
yeah,
what you said.
I just found the video, and it was John D. It was by John D.
Because the longer the tube is, the more parallel the rays have to be.
Correct.
You're excluding more light.
Yeah.
And he didn't use like a super zoom camera. What does it even say what kind of camera he used? What was his zoom level on his lens?
Mm.
Do you
It
know?
was a Nikon P5 510.
Yeah, but it didn't say like the zoom level of the lens, like how far is it, like 40 times zoom, 20 times zoom? Because the farther the zoom, the longer you can make the tube.
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you got a P1000, I think it's 120 times zoom. So I could probably make the tube almost 2 times longer than what he used. He used probably like a 20-foot pipe. I could probably use a 40-foot pipe. Right? And then you can calculate, right?
It was
calculate the angle.
The pipe was 2.5 meters.
Yeah, I could probably go 5 meters.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
Yeah, and like I said, you can calculate the maximum diverging angle, right? So it's like the size of the opening to the opposite corner in the pipe, right? So both ways. So that would be like the very sparse rays would actually be in that angle. But I'm just saying, most of the light would have to be nearly exactly parallel.
Yeah,
Hey,
correct.
Indio,
It will just debunk their refraction. What did they say about refraction?
Yeah, that's bending
Normal
light.
refraction or normal refraction or standard refraction. Yeah, the standard refraction model that they have.